How about some tilapia with shrimps, sauteed, little onion, garlic, white wine, and heavy cream. And we're not using any flour in this, so you have to use a non-stick skillet. I'm not going to measure the amount of salt, but just watch and sprinkle just a little salt, sea salt, on the top of the fish. A little pepper. Turn it over. Always remember, everything that goes into the dish has to be seasoned. The shrimps are going to be seasoned the same way, because when they go in, and then there's a sauce involved, for some strange reason, it all comes out bland. So you must season everything. That takes care of the seasoning of the fish. We'll do the same thing with the shrimps. Plus we'll cut the back, down the back, we'll rinse it off. And I think we're going to cut them lengthwise in half to quicken the cooking time. And also it will look like there's more on the entree plate. Now what you put in the pan is up to the individual. Whether you use virgin olive oil, regular olive oil, vegetable oil, butter, it's all up to you. What my preference is using olive oil. Actually, olive oil mixed with about a little pat of butter is a good way to go, but I'm too lazy to go into the refrigerator right now. So we have a moderate flame. So what do we do first in this dish, which only takes a few minutes? The first thing we're going to do is cook the tilapia, because that takes the longest. Then we'll put it on a plate and cook the next item. And when the items are done, it's very easy. Okay, so we have a moderate flame, the oil's in there, and when you put the fish in the pan, you put the fish in, there's where the bones will be. This side goes in first, not this side. That way it doesn't curl up on you. So this is seasoned, we'll place it in there. And use a non-stick pan because it will usually stick to a regular pan if you're not using flour. And I'm not in the mood to use flour. It's bad enough that I'm using heavy cream. And tilapia fish cooks okay without the flour. This won't take long. Another one of these quickie items, you know, when you say to yourself, what am I going to eat tonight? Let me run to the fish store and buy a couple of things. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, we're done. I raise the flame just a little bit. See how nice that is? Fish that doesn't stick because we're using a non-stick pan. Try and put this in even a good Cuisinart or stainless steel with a thick bottom one. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We're going to cook the fish almost all the way, because later we'll have to finish it. That's the fun part, finishing the fish. And tilapia, you know, is always frozen when you purchase it. It's one of the few fish that you can buy that's been frozen that still tastes good. Not like other fish, especially salmon. Salmon is the worst fish when you buy it frozen. When you find in the supermarket those packages of fish in the freezer, not a good way to go. Only tilapia and catfish are the only two that I will ever eat that have been frozen. Tilt the pan away all the time, not to burn yourself. Turn the fish. And what are you going to serve with this? Or whatever you like. Now just remember the wine that you're using for cooking, never use cooking wine. And if you like sweet wine in your taste, then go ahead and use it. But I always use dry white wine. See, no sticking. If you see the shrimps, just for a different effect, even though I cut them down the back, I didn't cut them all the way. I want to see how that looks when we serve it. I think it'll have a nice appearance. Food's got to look good and taste good, and then you're happy. Okay, that's it on the fish right now. We're going to take it right out and go to the next step. Okay, we reduced the flame just a little bit, as you see. And we're going to add the garlic and the onion. And wait a couple of minutes. And we'll add the white wine and the shrimps. This has to sweat up a little, get a little tender there. And on top of this, like I said, everything has to be seasoned. You're going to have to season this also. Take a little sea salt, not much, and just sprinkle. And a little pepper. Okay? Everything. No matter what it is, what you're making it, season it, and then you mix everything together, and you should come out with a great flavor. I don't think I'm going to share this with anybody. Well, that's about 7 ounces of tilapia. It depends. You see this portion size? One guy has to eat that. Now, 2 very fine, delicate ladies can get away with eating one of these, and a couple of shrimps on top. So that's about 3 to 4 ounce each of tilapia, which is good for a portion size, but not for me. Now we'll raise the flame, because we're going to quickly cook the shrimps, and then place the tilapia back in there, and watch what happens to this dish. Now we have a high flame. The shrimps go in, and after 1, 2, 3 seconds, so does the white wine. That's the best part. Well, actually not the best part. There's another excellent part coming up. And we got to be quick about this, because you don't want to overcook the shrimps. And in there also is going the heavy cream. Thank you very much. These shrimps are almost done. So what we're going to do next is, wait a second, let's get to a quick simmer here. Quick simmer. They're still a little translucent, the shrimps, so they're not done, which is good. Now we'll give this a taste, because this has to have a seasoning in it. If it doesn't, we'll add another drop of salt or pepper. Not bad. There's another pinch of salt. That'll bring it up. Is this a dietetic dish? I don't think so. You know, you can opt out on the heavy cream if you want. And but let's face it, how often would you be making something like this? When you invite friends over, cook a dish like this for them. They'll be very happy. This has to reduce a little. By the time it does, that's the shrimps will be done. What I'm going to do is place one fillet back in there, over here, bring this on top very easily. Take the other fillet, place it over there. Give it a second to heat up and we're done. Just has to be hot. Everything is cooked already. And the shrimps are nice and juicy. Oh, I can't share this with anyone. Let me get a special plate for this. That's it, we're done. Now, what are you going to serve with this? I guess a nice item that always goes with an item like this with the sauce. You could do pasta, but shrimps go very nicely. And to top this off, we'll put a little scallions. Why? Only because I have them laying around. And if not scallions, if I had fresh parsley, I would use fresh parsley. And of course, the rest of the sauce we do not waste. And that goes on top. Let's make it a little more visible. Look at those shrimps. Nice and tender. It's a beautiful dish. I usually share this with my wife, but yes, I will. Anyway, that's it. Shrimps with tilapia with shrimps. You can always add mushrooms to the saute mix also. You can add herbs to this if you wanted to. You know, you could do many things. But the basic thing is the cooking of the fish, and then the sauteing of the onions and whatever else you want to put in there, and putting it together, and you have a great dinner. I neglected one thing. I am so embarrassed. You know, when you peel the shrimps, these are head-on shrimps. There's the shells and the head, everything, right? And most people will throw that out. No, you don't throw it out. This is going to be added to the sauce, and we'll show you how to do it. So what you do is, you add cold water to this. You reduce this down until about you have 2 tablespoons. That's all. 2 tablespoons of this reduction will give you a very strong shrimp flavor. And when you add the heavy cream, you also add the 2 tablespoons of this shrimp stock at the same time. Then the dish will be delicious. Now, I'll be honest. What I just did was I ate a shrimp and some of the fish with the onions. Okay, it's very tasty. But I'm going to add that reduced stock to this plate when I get done. I'll let you know the difference. Okay, so when would you do this reduction here? You do this long before you even start to cook, because you peel the shrimps, you have the shrimps in the refrigerator ready, and then you go about boiling up this. So it doesn't interfere with anything else. This is done a long time prior to putting the dish together. Anyway, just to show you that little bit of stock that I got, I'm pouring it into the chinois and let it drizzle onto the plate. The few drops that I have, and then just give it a little mix here. Well, it's even a shrimpier taste now. Good dish. I'm happy with that. I would serve that to anyone, even the King of France, if he existed.